Then. All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring you a bit of an impromptu live stream. In that tonight we got to see the final two episodes, the series finale for AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. Oh, you guys know the drill. Once we have somebody join, let me know if the mic is good, if you can hear me okay. We got baby boy right here in his bassinet. So it's like a holder, like a holder thing. So if you hear some stomping, that's just him. He's kicking down the bassinet. He's giving it. Go show him. Give it some crap. Go on. There you go. Stomp. So he's just stomping away. Nothing too major for this stream, my dudes. Just basically want to say what's up and kind of maybe give some final thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead ending, hearing what you guys have to say about it. What's up? We got Jay Dev. Thanks for the confirmation for the audio there, Jay. How did you like the finale episodes? Have you seen the double finale for Fear? Do you still watch it, or did you stop watching it a while ago? I can't remember what you said, if you watched Fear or not. We got Steffi2933 Reinhard. All goods. Thank you, Steffi. Appreciate it. Yeah, dudes. So tonight we got to see the final episodes for Fear the Walking Dead series finale. It's up early on AMC Plus streaming if you if you have that AMC Premiere. If you don't, maybe some people are watching it right now because the block probably would be like 9 to 11, I guess, on classic cable. I'm not sure. I don't have old school cable anymore. I just do the AMC Plus deal, and that's basically it. I don't really watch anything on cable anyway nowadays. It's all streaming, really, right? For pretty much all the good stuff, AMC included. So we did the. Did you keep on, Jay? Okay, cool. So Jay says that because of you, I kept on it. It was all right. So yeah, not too bad. Just got the. Let's switch. So spoilers, I guess. Yeah. So you had the reuniting scene at the end here. Let's see. Can we size this down a little bit? Does that work? How do we fit this in here? So, yeah, you get kind of the ending, getting to see the reuniting between Madison and Alicia, which is good to finish things off. Give it a good, happy ending. I think is really good. If you guys remember Game of Thrones and the way Game of Thrones finished off, the last thing you kind of want to do is like have a series that's on for like 9 years or something, like a decade almost. Because Fear almost did a decade, dude. It's like it did 8 seasons, but we had the shutdown year. So it basically did like almost a decade of the show. They almost did a whole decade for Fear. And yeah, a whole decade, yeah. They almost did a whole decade for Fear. He's excited now. Yeah, I get excited. He gets excited. Almost a whole decade for it, dude. So the last thing you want to do is do a series where you do like a whole decade's worth, and then you leave fans with like a sad ending at the end, or like you kill off like half the characters or something, or you do something crazy like what Game of Thrones did. It just really upsets a lot of people because then they've invested all these years into watching, this series. Maybe it's one of their favorites. And if you give it a bad ending like Game of Thrones had, where you kill off a lot of fan favorite characters and you take some big risks like that, it's like, damn, dude, it really sucks. So luckily, Fear the Walking Dead had a good ending. I definitely wouldn't say it's as good as the original Walking Dead TV series ending. The original Walking Dead TV series ending was amazing. One of the best endings for a series I've ever seen. And also because you had pretty much everybody that they could get in there. You sort of had Rick return in a way, even though he didn't return like seeing the group at the Commonwealth. He was sort of in the finale for Walking Dead though too. Like he had a scene in it anyway. So, that was just a great ending. The thing with Fear the Walking Dead that's tricky is that they had Morgan leave in the first half. So they gave him like the first half block basically where he works with Madison a bit. He does the clear stuff, and then eventually with Grace, and then eventually he leaves in the first half of season 8, which separates season 8 into 2 chunks, right? Like you have the first half, which is given to Morgan, and he's basically the lead for the first half. Then you have the second half where Madison is the lead for it, and it's almost like they needed to do that because they'd work themselves in, or it just happened this way, where they kind of worked themselves into a spot where they didn't really have anybody else to use as like a lead, I think. Like in the last back half, I guess it was 6 episodes, not 8 episodes, but they didn't have anybody else that they could really use after Morgan left that would be a suitable, I think, overall lead for the last part. So it was good to see Madison kind of finish off the series, kind of just see things kind of end that way. Troy coming back was a little bit weird, though, because they brought Troy back, and he was good as a final villain, but he really wasn't, he didn't come back for that long. He only came back for episodes, let's see, was it 7 to 11? That's it. So he only came back for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He only came back for a handful of episodes. It's not like he came back for a whole season or something like that, which is kind of what I would have sort of expected. But they also didn't show a scene with him and kind of like show him surviving the events of season 3, like at the dam and stuff. I expected them to kind of redo that and show like how he was rescued and stuff. I mean, there was some different flashbacks for different things, right? But I don't think that was specifically filmed as a flashback, and it kind of should have, because you sort of had to see what happened with Troy and how he survived in order to have it fit exactly right. And they didn't exactly do that. So it was a little bit tricky, right? So, yeah, but it was, overall, I thought it was a pretty good, okay, he was a walker in 12, Infamous. Yeah, okay. You're right. I'm just saying that, like, is a walker like a character? Like, sort of, I guess. It depends. It could be, I guess, sort of. But then they had Tracy and stuff, so it was all right. They did a pretty good job, I think, for a finish off for Fear the Walking Dead. You want to come up, boy? Oh, jeez. But, yeah. So it was, it was pretty good, but I don't know. I just felt like they went back and forth so many times throughout the season, and, like, it just felt like they didn't want to commit to anything. Like, in season 7, they set up Strand as this big tower villain, but then they kind of, when it came time for a final battle, it feels like they sort of chickened out and they had Strand survive it. And it's like, he probably shouldn't have, right? Though, like, that should have been like his final arc. And then that would be it for him. But then they kept him around to do another thing with him in season 8, which just felt weird because he had already, like, gone full, like, tower villain bad guy. It's weird to see him go back after that to, like, okay, like, it just felt like they went back and forth so many times, with too many characters. Like, they'd do something, and they'd be like, okay, so Tracy is this, she's Troy's daughter, right? And then they got to swerve on that, and then they're like, oh no, it's this, this was her mom, and then no, it wasn't, this was her mom. It just felt like, but no, she's not dead. But then, or like all these people tell us that she's dead, but then she's not dead. Like, it's like, it just felt like they got a little bit too, like they just went back and forth too many times. And they did it with almost everybody. They did it with Morgan, went back and forth with clear stuff, and even right up to the end, which I guess was okay. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't work to like flip-flop so much, right? And it's like, non-committal, right? It's like, and then this person survives. That person, Madison, ends up being alive, which is okay, I guess. Troy ends up being alive. And then later not, to end things off. It's like, huh. So I don't know. But we did a few videos for Fear this year to finish things off. Nothing too crazy. I didn't do like weekly Q&As. I didn't do stuff like that because I just felt like, let's just see it wrap up, because it got a little bit, I want to say, and you guys can let me know what you think about this in the chat so I can see, but I almost feel like it got a little bit, overdue, to finish off. Like it felt like in season 8, and maybe 7 as well too, that it went like too far to where it was obvious that it had like run out of steam, and it was kind of obvious that they needed to wrap it up like soon. It almost feels like they did more than what you would expected them to have. You want to say hi to everybody, buddy? It's got to soothe it, right? So yeah. So he's hanging out with me right here. So it just felt like they went back and forth too much. They didn't want to commit to things, and I don't know. At least they had a happy ending at the end. I think that was smart to do. They gave us like a safe ending, like an ending where they wouldn't really make anybody furious about it. They wouldn't really upset anybody too much. they just gave you like an ending where it's like, you know, fans should be happy with this, and that's kind of what it is. But damn, it was hard to get there, dudes. We had to like go back and forth with Tracy like 50 times. We like, this person's my mother, and then no, it's not, and then it's like what is this, like a daytime soap opera? Like, just too much, you know what I mean? Just a little bit too much, dude. Yeah, just a little bit over the top. Yeah. So, yeah, too safe, maybe a little bit, not enough chances. But did they even have like one big character death at the end? I guess they didn't, right? Like, who was a big character death at the end? Troy doesn't count because we already thought he was dead to begin with. Like, Troy being killed off in the last episode or last 2 episodes, that doesn't even count because we already thought he was dead anyway, and they brought him back. So it's not really like a character death like you would expect. They sort of brought Alicia back to life in the end, right? So there was that. But they didn't have like, who was a big character death to finish things off? I'm trying to think. Yeah, Jay says that it was all over the place. Charlie, I don't know if I'd say that's a big character death. She's like a B character. She's not like, for example, the original Walking Dead had Rosita. Charlie's not like a huge character. She's like a B, maybe a C type character. She's not an A-lister. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I guess you have to have Madison live because you brought her back already. So if you had her killed off again in the end, it would be really weird. But I don't know. Just yeah. I don't think Charlie is like, you know, it would count to me as like a huge, you know, series finale character death. I don't think so. Give me a sec, dudes. I gotta place baby down. All right. And I think he dropped his soother. 1 sec for soother time. Okay. He drops it all the time. He always spits it out, right? Under the desk. Down. Yeah. You did. Who did that? You did. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's read your comments and see what you guys had to say for the finale for Fear the Walking Dead. A year after the original Walking Dead TV series ends, you get the ending for Fear. So it's 1 year after, and we see things wrap up. I guess it makes sense. Even that felt like it was a bit too long. All right, so what did you guys say here? What's up, Dory? How you doing? And thanks again, Jay, for joining. Luke, a pretty damn good ending. I would be happy never seeing Madison, Alicia, and Tracy again. The rest I could see being in a crossover or the anthology series. Yeah, I don't think they want to, for Luke. I think it's kind of over for these characters. I don't think you really want to do, you know, anything with them at this point. Like, I feel like they went back and forth so many times. The only one that I can see fans really wanting to see would probably be Morgan. Maybe you could see Dwight and Sherry see Negan again. Like, maybe Negan tries to return to the sanctuary and Dwight and Sherry run it now and he gets kicked out or something. Something like that could be all right. But I feel like the rest of the characters, like, just let it go, you know. Like, don't bother to do anything with them. Like, don't bother to bring them back. Like, it's too long. Come on, sweetheart. I'm just on live here. Do you want him? He's right here. Okay. All right. 1 second. We got baby pastime. Okay, so we got...
I know I missed him.
Yeah.
Show his face.
Oh yeah, sure. Everybody's seen it.
Long eyelashes.
Everybody's seen his long eyelashes. Yeah. Say hi to everybody, Tristan. Yeah. I always I say like every week. There you go.
Looks like a dog.
Yeah, he is. I'll get you a soother. 1 sec. 1 sec, my dudes. I gotta get soother. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Probably go for like 20 minutes or something. We'll see. All right, dudes. So. Okay, where were we at here? Oh, yeah, so, yeah, it just felt like, I don't know, man. Okay, let's see what else you guys say. I don't think for Luke, where were we? We were talking about a possible spinoff. I did a video on this. I don't think so, man. Like, a spinoff is like, maybe, I don't know. Who would you want to see? You said you would not want to see the Clarks in a spinoff. I think you kind of have to use them. You don't want to use Strand for a spinoff. That's like... That would not work at all. Daniel and Luciana is not enough. I don't think you'd want to see that for a spinoff. I don't think it has the right, you know, just the two of them. I don't think that would work. Maybe, you know what you need to do? I think what makes sense is you use them for like an episode of Tales of the Walking Dead. I think that makes sense. Like, you use some of the characters at the end. Maybe you do an episode of Tales where you catch up with them. So like just one episode. It doesn't have to be like a big deal. You just do like one episode a few years later or something, and that would be a great episode, because then it wouldn't be a whole series, it wouldn't be a whole season or a couple seasons. It'd just be like one episode with some of the characters getting to see what happened to them after. Tales of the Walking Dead is a good place to do that. That makes sense in my mind. But seeing Morgan is one that fans will want to see reunited with Rick, so maybe in the Rick spinoff we see Morgan, or maybe we don't, and that's it for Morgan. I think Lenny James sort of alluded to that he's pretty much all set with Walking Dead. He's happy with what he did on Walking Dead. He doesn't really want to do much more unless they give him like a big crossover, I think. I think that's the idea. So, yeah. Victoria Beck says it was painfully horrible. While I understand the back and forth was kind of painfully horrible, they just overdid it, right? Like, I agree with you with respect to the back and forth stuff. They overdid it too many times. Like, it's okay to do it once. Maybe you trim like 1 or 2 episodes off the end here, and you just have these storylines be more simplistic. It was too crazy with like, who's Tracy's mom, and was it Alicia or not, and is it this lady or not, and Troy and the others. It just got too convoluted. They tried to do too much. It got pretentious, or it got too, just too much. They just tried to do, they overcomplicated it needlessly. And even like talking about the past and what happened and creating mystery about the past, maybe that works in a 16 episode season if you stretch it longer. But it feels like for 6 episodes, they put too much in here to try to cram it all in, and it didn't work that much. It felt really clustered. Okay, let's see. Steph says, saw it. I would think if Madison was reunited with Alicia after years of not seeing her, thinking she was dead, I expected more emotion. I agree with that, Steffi, that there should have been more emotion. The reuniting scene wasn't as great as it probably should have been. But again, I think a lot of it has to do with they crammed so much in that, when you got to that big, huge scene, it was like a tack on almost at the end. Like, if by the time we got to that scene, I was already tired from all the back and forth and craziness that, it felt like it was sort of just smashed in there at the end. Like, it should have been, there should have been a little bit more there. Like, I don't know what you could have done. Maybe there's a Walker fight. She shows up with a group to save them or something. I don't know. Something else would have been probably a little bit better. Jay says, it's amazing that Fear the Walking Dead had as many episodes as it did. I agree with you 100%, Jay. It probably had too many episodes. I think we can all agree they probably did about a season worth of episodes more than what they probably should have or what they needed to. They probably could have finished this off in season 7 a year or 2 years ago. They probably did about a season more than what they needed to, but you know what? They probably had these ideas for stuff they wanted to do with Madison and Troy, and they probably wanted to get those in before they finished off. So, that's what they had to work with. I think it turned out pretty good. Definitely, I think Fear the Walking Dead is a worthy addition to Walking Dead. I know some people, they like to hate on it and that stuff, and they don't like it. I think if you look at it as, like you said, the amount of episodes they did being incredible, like just so many that you wouldn't think that they would get that many, and none of us really did. If you look at it as an add-on piece to the original Walking Dead series, adding on for Dwight and Sherry, Morgan, and then having its original crew, those that stayed around anyway long enough, I think it was a great addition to the original series. It certainly started with a bang. It got like 10 million views for its premiere episode. So when it first premiered, it was huge, man. 10 million people watched the premiere. First season did great. Millions and millions of viewers. They had Talking Dead on it afterwards. Talking Fear. And yeah, so I think it did amazing. Better than I would have ever expected. Maybe a little bit too much. B. Horing 2 says, is Dead City good? I watched the first 3 episodes, then lost interest. Yeah, it's really good Horning, but yeah, Horning. The problem is that The Walking Dead has split off its characters so much that each series only gets like a couple of characters. That's the thing. So in Dead City, you get only Negan and Maggie. That's it. In Daryl, you get only Daryl and Carol. That's it. You don't get any of the other older characters in them. So Rick and Michonne is the same thing. Those two. It's like they pair off two per spinoff. So that's what they did. That's how they've turned out. And we'll see if any of the series bring in any more OG Walking Dead characters into them. I hope they do. I guess if you count Herschel, that's the third one for Dead City. Depends how you count it. But, really, they've been, limited with roster. And they've been mixed with fan response. Some people say they're hugely popular. I said, Daryl Dixon and Dead City, they're not hugely popular. They're popular, okay, for a TV series. They did well for a streaming series. Very well. I'm not saying they didn't. It's some of the best stuff on TV right now, I think. But definitely not the same level as the original Walking Dead series. That was huge. That was hugely popular. That was massive. So, yeah. John Doe says, it was horrible. I'm just hoping we get a Ones Who Live trailer. Well, it'll be here pretty soon. That'll be the next Walking Dead series, right? The next one we see will be Rick and Michonne, the Ones Who Live. So that's going to be cool, man. That's going to be really cool. We see that next year. I hope we have time to review it and go through it. And there's enough interest for it. Steffi says, do we know why we never see what happened to Wendell, Sarah, and the others? I think for Steffi, I just think that they, maybe they fell by the wayside. Fear the Walking Dead has always had trouble with keeping everybody, like all their roster, around. Travis, Cliff Curtis had to leave he had to leave Fear for Avatar, I think it was. The actor who played Nick wanted to leave. So, they had difficulty keeping everybody around. So I don't know for them if they just decided not to bring them back into the show. Not sure. Or if maybe the cast members wanted to go. I'm not sure. They were not A-listers anyway. They were like C characters or B at best. So it's whatever. Infamous NYC said Madison finished strong. Dr. Death says nothing to fear. Infamous, and then we had Jay. It was great seeing Troy back. One of the better characters. I agree. I think he was one of the best characters in the series for sure. And I think it was smart to bring him back. I think it worked out great as the final villain for Madison. If they didn't do that, what the hell would they have done? It wouldn't have been nearly as good. I thought it was great. Johnny Tabasco, thank God Fear the Walking Dead's over. Infamous said rip stream. I think we're okay. I'm just disappointed because it could have been so much better. The horrible writing and storylines kind of painted them into a corner. They just overdid it, I think. Dr. Death character motivations flip constantly. It's frustrating as a writer to watch. Oh, I see what you mean. He says good riddance. Doug, what happened to Sarah and Wendell? They never addressed it. So, I guess they're just out there somewhere in the zombie apocalypse, I think. Let's see. Oh, Strand mentioned they died. Okay, if he mentioned they died, fair enough. I don't recall. Emily should have been a longer-term villain, says B. Horning. On the raft, J. Dev says, okay, so they killed off. Okay. So they were killed off screen. They weren't in it after that. He mentioned the rabbi as well too. Let's see. Jay says Fear the Walking Dead was all over the place. Why not have Walker or Tobias? Let's see. Okay. Charlie's death was so dumb. Reunite her with Daniel just to kill her off. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care that much because yeah, she killed Nick and stuff. And I guess she was an okay character. I thought she worked well with Alicia. Aside from that, I didn't really think much of her. And she worked well with Daniel too. Yeah, I gotta admit that. Let's see, Dr. Death. It was really upsetting because I love the franchise and characters, but these writers, holy good God, Lord. Yeah. Let's see. They should have had a connection between the docs. Daryl went to Carol meet a few of the characters on her way to find Daryl, we'll see. Maybe they will do something like that in season 2 for Daryl Dixon. Jay says, despite the big inconsistencies of Fear's writing, for the most part, I actually enjoyed the final season. My expectations were very low. Yeah, that's it. Let's see. Scott Theobald says, after they killed off John, they were scared to kill off any characters. I agree. Yeah, again, the story's all over the place and didn't make sense half the time. Yeah, I agree with you, Scott, actually. I really feel like Strand probably should have... That makes sense. Like, it's weird to have a villain story arc where the villain becomes kind of like irredeemable and still survives. You know, if you have the governor, for example, where he comes back, you know, it's kind of like you expect to see him killed off. If you have Strand become a huge villain with the tower, and because that was pretty epic. You know, if you think about like Woodbury as the governor, that was small time compared to the tower. The tower was a really cool, like Woodbury was cool enough, but it was just like a little small town. The tower was sweet. The tower was like this huge building, and like they had all this, like a skyscraper almost. Like it was really cool. Okay, maybe not. Should I say skyscraper? Like it was pretty big. It was a cool location. I thought it was one of the coolest villain arcs. It seems obvious to me that that's when Strand becomes the tower villain. Like that's it for him. Like after the end of that season, season 7, you have the good guys defeat him and kill him off, or whatever, or you have them run away or something. Like, you know, it just seems obvious to me in terms of storytelling. You guys talking about writing. It's like once he does the things he does at the tower with Howard and all the others, it's like throwing people off, Will and all the others. It's like you don't expect to see him be forgiven for that. You expect that to be like, okay, he's full on crazy bad guy now. You don't really come back from that, but second chances and stuff, I don't know. Yeah, let's see. What else did you guys say here? After they killed, okay, so we got that one. Jay, I only wanted to see Alicia and Madison. Yeah, it was good that they did it, because a second there, I thought they weren't going to even do that. I thought they were just going to leave it, and if they just left it, the finale would not have been as good. It was really important that they get that done. They did it. They were able to do it. It wasn't as great as I thought it probably would be, but it's there. So, you know, I guess they footed the landing. I guess they didn't fall backwards, right? If you're doing a long jump, don't they tell you to go forwards, right? If you're going to fall, like, well, when you fall, you go forwards, because otherwise if you fall back, I think they count it backwards. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And the track and field people here, you go long jump, you go, yeah. So, you know, they landed it so good enough, right? They didn't fall backwards, but it wasn't perfect, but we'll take it. It's good enough, I guess. At least in my opinion. So let's see what else you guys says. Dory Nichols says Tales would work. I agree. It would be great in Tales. You could definitely do some episodes with them in Tales. Even if you wanted to do one with Strand in Tales, I think that would be cool. You could do that, like just one episode. You know, not like a season, just one. Okay, you know, just to see what happens with him after. That would be all right, I think. Yeah, spin-off with skid marks, says Doug Gibson. Nice. Let's see. Infamous NYC. Travis fell into... Okay, all right, you're just being silly now. Okay, let's see. Little Savage says, Rip Troy. Yep. Morgan just went downhill of Fear. Yeah, I think that later on, Fear and Morgan, like... It felt like Morgan going to Fear was great at first. For the first, like, half season, it was awesome. And then after, like, a couple seasons, it started getting, like, questionable for him. It was like, I don't know. Sometimes it was okay, but sometimes it wasn't. I'm not sure. Yeah, Trading Cards and More says, another one bites the dust. What a journey, Trev. Yeah, thanks, Trading Cards and More. Much love to you, man. It was a lot of fun, dude. Especially, like I said in a review, I think, that Fear the Walking Dead was great during the summertime, because during the summertime, there's no Walking Dead. There was, like, nothing on, and Fear the Walking Dead was on. So I thought it was great to have on during the summertime, give you some Walking Dead to watch with different characters. That was really cool. I think it did run into trouble once they started switching its release time around. Once they started switching it around every year to, like, different times, I was like, this is hard to keep up with, because if people are used to watching something in, like, July or something, and then you switch it to October, that's really weird to switch around like that. So I think ultimately that didn't help long term, but yeah, that's what it is. I don't know how much longer we'll go. Baby's crying a bit, so let's see what we got here, dudes. Let's see. Some of it, somebody said it got repetitive somewhat. Yeah, well, the amount of episodes they did. Everything gets repetitive if you do like 200 episodes or something. Like if you do 100 plus episodes, it's impossible for it not to get a little bit repetitive. It's going to be, that's just how it is. Let's see. Steffi says the fact that Dwight and Sherry were at the sanctuary one episode and Padre the next was weird. Yeah, the traveling around, I would like to see more on the road and stuff. You expect to see more. I guess it's too hard to film and to produce, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Do you think we'll ever see the Fear characters again in a spinoff? Matthew Hoey says, I personally hope not. I don't think so, Matt. I think that this is good. Sorry for baby crying. This is good for Fear. That's it. Maybe Tales of the Walking Dead. Maybe one for the Clarks if you want to, like 6 episodes or something. But I think this is good. They did so many episodes. I think just leave it be at this point. Like, it was a good ending. Just let it go at this point. That's what I think. Yeah. Silver Productions, your channel was recommended earlier and I wanted to subscribe. I lost your channel again, then you showed up my page again. Well, just subscribe, Sliler. What's the difficulty? You can subscribe now. I don't see what the problem is. Let's see. Okay. Luke says, the ones who live February 25th. Yes, they just showed a teaser. That's going to be great. Excited for that. Yeah, the first 3 seasons were good. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see what else you guys said. And baby's starting to cry, so maybe we'll wrap up soon. Tristan's getting upset, so maybe we'll wrap up. He might want food or something. Let's see. Fog Football says, this show is absolutely awful. You must be getting paid, Trev, to praise this bullshit. It's up to you, Fog, what you think. If you think it's awful, no problem. I'm not going to, fight with you about it. Like I said, I enjoyed it during the summer, especially during some of those summers where we didn't have any Walking Dead. I thought it was great. And Morgan was cool. Dwight was cool. I thought the Clark storyline was good. They're important Walking Dead characters. I think they're some of the best of the whole franchise. So Madison, Alicia's great. So Tracy's a good addition as well, too, to finish up. I thought it was a good ending for it. Pretty good. So it's up to you. If you don't like it, that's okay. I'm not gonna browbeat you over it. It's up to you what you like and what you don't. Let's see. Yeah, maybe Doug. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's true. Yeah. Curtis Price, off topic, Trev, but Jay's supremacism on TikTok is insane. I don't even want to get into it, Curtis. Not right now. I don't have the energy, dude. It takes too much energy to fight over this stuff. I don't have the energy, man. Like platforms online, it's like, I just can't deal with it. It's too much, man. Plus, YouTube is not doing that well as it is. TikTok has taken a lot of YouTube's audience, dudes. TikTok has taken like I think like half of the viewer time has gone to TikTok from YouTube. So that's like half of the people from YouTube have switched to TikTok. It's like, wow, that's crazy. So I don't even want to get into it, bro. And I don't even want to start. No. Should say teaser, not trailer. Yeah, it's all teaser stuff, really, right? All right, dudes, let's wrap up soon here. Red Lotus says Troy definitely didn't die, and this one will come back. Okay, come on, you're just being a jerk now. Let's see. Haven't been here in a while. HY Rulian 95. How are you, Trev? I'm doing great, thank you. Hi, Rulian. Great. We had the baby, so I didn't produce many videos this year. We did the 9 months. Baby was born 6 months ago. So just taking care of the infant baby. I haven't been making Tristan. I haven't been making too many videos. That's a lot of why. Like I just kind of took some time. It's more important anyway. Videos are fun, but this is taking care of a baby is way more important, right? So having a baby is more important too right now than just continuing to do what I usually do. Marilyn says, "Hey Trav, just dropped a short clip on the ones who live." Yeah, I'll check it out. And thank you, John Doe. Take care of yourself, man. You stay safe as well. Yeah, Canadian prepper. Yeah, I don't know. I hear this prep stuff for years now. It's like, at this point, I'm just like, nothing's happening, man. Whatever. O says, "Hey Trev, how are you? I feel bad I haven't watched the second half of Fear." Well, that's okay, man. Just watch the last episode. Watch the last 2 episodes. That's all you need to really watch if you want to. Yeah, don't go back down the rabbit. I know, Chris. I don't want to even. Not right now. Okay, let's wrap up here, dudes, because he's crying. So February 25th. All right, let's wrap up. thank you guys so much for watching the live stream. Hope you enjoyed this quick live stream celebration of the ending for Fear the Walking Dead. It's been a lot of fun, guys. Really enjoyed covering the show with you guys. Thought it was great. One of my favorite series of all time to go along with Walking Dead. Had lots of fun. Definitely will be back for the Rick and Michonne spinoff, The Ones Who Live. Got some gameplay videos coming for you guys soon for the Walking Dead Destinies. And let's wrap up because he's starting to grow. Oh, says Trev, would you prefer a baby to grow up to be a Ninja Turtle fan or Walking Dead fan? I'm sure he'll be fans of both. Okay, thumb the video up before you guys leave. Share, favorite, subscribe at the bottom. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. Trev saying peace. Later, guys. Thanks for seeing you guys. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining the live stream. I'll see you guys soon.